Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network, and this is Maggie. and today's topic is surfing the ebbs and flows. There's ups and downs in life that we all experience, and learning to find our balance and presence in the presence of those ups and downs is often a challenge, but it's a skill that we can improve with intention. So until we get started, let's take a minute to just get present and settle in. So let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen filling your lungs, flooding into your bloodstream, nourishing every cell, every organ, and bringing vital life energy. And as you exhale, exhale any tension, any stress, any negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And this time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, energizing all your electrons, all your molecules, and vibrating your cells with light so that you beam out into the world. And as you exhale, exhale any stress and tension, fatigue, negativity. And now let's just gently press our palms together. Very softly, softly, softly rub your fingers against your palms and feel how delicious that sensation is. Allow it to bring you present right here, right now. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. It's great to be here with you as always. And today's topic is surfing the ebbs and flows. Yesterday, I was talking about an investment that I had made. And if any of you watch the stock market or participate in the stock market or cryptocurrencies or foreign exchange, any kind of investments, there are lots and lots of ebbs and flows, ups and downs, and managing oneself in the face of these transitions is one of the things that we can use that as a metaphor for life. Good morning, Roslyn. Welcome. It's great to have you here. And to everybody else who's joining us, it's great to spend this time. It's such a gift to me to be able to spend this time with you. I can't even tell you. Anyway, we're talking about the ebbs and flows. And so there have been some wild swings in these investments as I've been involved with them. And it's hello, Gia. Welcome, welcome. Great to have you here. We're talking about ebbs and flows and using the market, stock market, or foreign exchange or cryptocurrency market, for instance, as a metaphor for the ebbs and flows of life. And I think surfing, again, I'm not a surfer, but I think that surfing is probably a really good metaphor to be looking at how we can balance ourselves and constantly correct for balance. When we talk about balance, it's interesting because we think of balance as sort of a static thing. Everything's in balance and, like hold your breath, don't move. But good morning, Kimberly. Welcome. Great to have you here. So, and good morning, Tammy. Great to have you too. Everybody, it's wonderful to be here with you. So we're talking about ebbs and flows and finding our balance and grace in the ups and downs that we experience in life, in relationships, in money, in opportunities, in everything, and navigating these things with grace. And when we talk about balance is an active thing. It's not a passive experience. Good morning, Hari. I'm just going to leave it at that. Wonderful to have you here with us. So, balance is constant course correction, right? It's constantly when we're in balance, we're in a state of change. There's constant influences, right? So we're constantly correcting to find that balance, right? Now, so Kimberly says, so funny. I was balancing on 2 bricks yesterday and acting like I was surfing, trying to balance. Wow. Wow. Talk about quote unquote coincidence, right? Nothing, there are no coincidences. Maybe the notion of surfing and balance is in the air. I think um, navigating these ups and downs is one of our biggest challenges in life, to be coming to a place where we can find our balance, find this dynamic. Balance is a dynamic activity, right? Dennis, good morning to you. Welcome. It's great to be here with you and with Kimberly. Thank you guys so much, all of you, for being here and joining us. So we're talking about this surfing the ebbs and flows, and finding this place of dynamic balance. And I wonder, when we're confronted by, we talk about being thrown off balance, where something happens and we get derailed, and we end up falling off the surfboard, so to speak. And I I think that part of this surfing thing is to know when to paddle, I guess. I'm going to push this metaphor, even though I'm not a surfer. Know when to paddle, know when to get up on the board, and know when to actually stand on the board, and when to crouch, and when to shift, to be able to accommodate or to collaborate with the forces that are at play, with the waves and the tides. And it's interesting to me, because as I think about this, I think about that again with surfing. I'm imagining that if you're stiff, if you're rigid, you're not going to be able to accommodate the shifts that are happening underneath your feet, literally. And I think that that's the key for us in life, to find balance, is to be more fluid, to release the resistance that we have, that makes us rigid. When we're resisting something, there's a rigidity about it. There's a compression, a tightening around it. And when we allow ourselves not to resist the situation, we have the ability, we have the fluidity to be able to respond to it in a much more appropriate manner, or even a much more effective manner. So Kimberly says, synchronicities. Indeed, it's really remarkable to notice the synchronicities. That lights me up. I think that, noticing synchronicities is a thing that lights me up more than anything else. It makes me feel like I'm in the flow, that I'm on the right track. It's like winks from the universe that we're going in the right direction, right? When we have these synchronicities. And Kimberly says, I'm balancing my emotions throughout the day, balancing. Exactly. I really think that that's what we're all engaged in. It's a matter of whether we're conscious about it or not, whether we're aware of the strategies that we have for balancing. So I'm going to get into that in a minute. Rosalind says full moon draws the tide up the shore. Low tides and high tides, storms. The sand and pebbles get smoother over time from rolling around in turbulent flow. You're a poet, Rosalind. Really, that's just beautiful. The sand and pebbles get smoother over time from rolling around in turbulent flow. It's so true that as we weather these storms and transitions, our edges get smoothed out as well. Hopefully, right? Hopefully we mellow with time, and we become more competent at at surfing these waves, and the ebbs and flows, the swells and tides of life. And so to talk about strategies for balancing ourselves, for finding our legs in this surfing thing, what are tips that you have utilized that have been effective for you? I know for me, when I remember, just breathing is the most powerful way to bring ourselves back to center in a very quick, easy fashion. So I've been practicing this a lot, especially because sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, or I wake up a lot, and when I'm, rather than resisting that, I allow myself to breathe, and it really makes a difference. So whether you're breathing in through your nose or your mouth, when you breathe deeply into your belly, allow your belly to extend, then what happens is your breath goes deeper. It goes deeper into your body, and then you can then as your belly is inflating, then you can move the oxygen or the breath into your chest. So it's almost a two-part thing: breathing into your belly so your belly extends, and as your belly extends, then it opens up the ability to breathe up into your chest as well, and you get much more oxygen. Excuse me. Wow, sorry about that. Moving a lot of energy this morning. So moving the energy and the oxygen in from your belly into your chest, and doing those slow, and then exhaling naturally, gently, or you can exhale forcefully too, and then just continue with that breathing. But I find that for easing myself, really just breathing into my belly and then up into my chest and then exhaling naturally, and just it changes the entire rhythm of being, especially when we are getting frantic or anxious, to be able to slow down. That's what actually happens. Is, first of all, we're oxygenating the system more, and secondly, we're slowing down, and third, not necessarily in that order, we're shifting our focus from whatever it is that we were getting upset about to bringing ourselves into our physical body. And this is another technique that is really, really powerful when experiencing emotion that is overwhelming, to actually presence ourselves to the emotion, to stop, and rather than resisting, to presence ourselves to the emotion, to and one way to do that is partly by breathing, but then also trace the emotion, trace the sensation of the emotion, recognize what the physiology is that's associated with it, where it is in your body, and allow yourself to breathe into that. And then your thoughts may be taking you away into other arenas. If that's the case, that's okay too. notice your thoughts. Periodically, what will happen is you'll come back, you'll notice your thoughts. Oh, wow, that's a weird thought. And then come back to your breath. And sometimes the thoughts that race through can be very illuminating in regard to whatever it is that's going on in the emotion, or in coming back to balance. So this surfing thing, it's, as we said, it's a dynamic process. It's a process of constant calibration and recalibration, adjustment, and it's a dance. It's a dance where we're constantly moving. If we're sitting rigid, oftentimes sitting rigid is oftentimes also holding your breath. And when we hold our breath and we resist and we're making our bodies rigid, we're 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 creating a barrier to experiencing life. Good morning, Pat. Great to have you here. Wonderful to be with you guys, all of you today. I want to let you know I have an appointment in 14 minutes, so I'm going to hang out for a little while more, but I'm going to end it before the half hour here. And I also want to invite you guys tomorrow is Earth Day. And today is the debut of the Sustainability Hour with me and Maggie on One with the Earth from Enlightened World Network. So I hope you'll join us. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern. And it should be a great conversation. This is another passion of mine. And Elaine says, breathing does help one to become not so afraid of feeling as so many are. Wow, Elaine, talk about synchronicities. So I was working with a client yesterday who's been a client for a while and is also a really good friend. And they were experiencing some really intense emotion. And what has been the case for them is that they have developed, because they've had a really tough life in many ways, they have developed tremendous mechanisms to defend themselves from feelings. So they haven't allowed themselves to really feel the depth of their feelings in a lot of ways. They would just say, feel a little bit and then, okay, shut it down. And our work is just becoming more and more intense as this session is coming to an end. Because I'm 3 months on, 1 month off. So this 3 months is coming to an end at the end of this month. And then May is off. And then I start a new segment with people starting in June. And what was coming up for them is that this work is really intense. I need a break. Like they said that they needed a break. And it's true. It's important to know when you need a break. And the thing that was going on here is that all these feelings that have been really deeply repressed for so long have been really coming up, bubbling up in a very intense way. And that often happens toward the end of a cohort, end of a segment. But yeah, I think that a lot of people are really afraid of feeling their feelings. And the deep fear here for this friend was that they would fall apart. And maybe that there were fears from growing up around a family member having a nervous breakdown. And so there was a fear that they would have a nervous breakdown if they really felt their feelings. So they had to keep it all together all the time. And that takes a tremendous amount of energy. So Kimberly says, thank you for sharing. It's a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. Where hopefully wherever you are, you're able to experience that it's a beautiful day, regardless of the weather. Rosalind says, my morning is the time to set up for the day. I used to save time in the morning by putting on makeup and mascara while driving. I've done that. Although we shouldn't admit it, right? Yes, I was that driver. Me too. And then I discovered the Lash Lady. Now my mornings are a breeze. I wake up with instant eye makeup. So I traded dog salon with self-care. I do my dog's nails myself now. Wow. I don't know anything about Lash Lady. I didn't have any eyelashes for quite some time. And that's due to the alopecia, which is why I have no hair. And I had no hair on my body anywhere, nothing anywhere. And so now I had a stem cell treatment, and I've begun to grow back eyebrows and eyelashes. And so I'm actually noticing that I have eyelashes now, which is pretty amazing. I'm curious. I'll have to check into Lash Lady. And so Kimberly says, Rosalind, I'm doing really well. I'm stopping struggling with myself, letting go, and learning new skills to deal with life. Good for you, Kimberly. That's what we all get to do. Like wherever we are in life, we get to create or develop new skills and improve the skills that we have. And Elaine says, yes, I have clients as well that are afraid of feelings due to trauma. Yes, exactly. Well, when you've had a certain depth of feeling, um, you know the intensity or the potential intensity, and it can be overwhelming. So I certainly do understand people's fear of feelings. And the thing is that in order to get to the other side, we get to go through things. You got to get through it to get past it. And it doesn't necessarily mean having to stay there for an extended period of time, but it does mean that we get to face the feelings. Maggie's having a ball today playing with my top here. Anyway, and Rosalind says to uh, Kimberly, I'm proud of you, Kimberly Wilkinson. You're strong. You're strong-willed. You got this. Yes, you've got this, Kimberly. Good for you. Good for you. Gia says, it's something been happening to me, not letting myself feel my feelings. And I realized I was feeling them anyways while resisting. Brilliant insight, Gia, because the truth is that even if you resist feeling your feelings, you do feel them. But as you're resisting them, you're making them persist. And Elaine says, yes, fear of losing their minds or dying. That's the fear of feeling the deep feelings. Thank you, Kimberly. And Gia says, I think I have come a long way, letting my emotions come up anytime. And I know how I have skills to help myself. Gia, just from your speaking, you've come a long way. And I'm so proud to hear this for you. Congratulations. Really developing the skills to navigate. And there's a love fest going on between Kimberly and Rosalind. And Kimberly says, I am not going to implausible anymore. I have to feel the feelings and let them pass. Exactly. We all get to feel the feelings, because think of it, feelings, emotions are energy. Right. And when we don't allow ourselves to feel them, what we're doing is we're kind of compressing that energy, and it's gonna just keep being there and vibrating. Right. When we allow ourselves to feel the feelings without that resistance, they can dissipate. And so when we don't allow ourselves to feel feelings for a really long time, what happens is all that vibrating energy starts manifesting physically too. And that's where we get all kinds of physical issues going on, as well as autoimmune stuff. So, um, trying to contain that energy rather than actually feel it, it can be kind of explosive. And if we can allow ourselves, as things are arising, to experience them, then we have a better capability of releasing ourselves and also maintaining our health better, right? Because we're not fighting, we're not expending so much energy to try and keep those feelings contained. So, anyway, we have surfed through today. I thank you so much for joining me in this wonderful flow together. Um, Good morning, Robin. Robin says, "Good morning, y'all. I'm working on me. I greatly appreciate all the comments." As do I, Robin. It makes the mornings very rich and lively. But I have to go because I have an appointment. So I want to just say so much love to you all. And I love being here with you. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. We go live each weekday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. And please check out the other awesome programming on Enlightened World Network. And please join me at 1 p.m. on at One with the Earth, or One with the Earth through Enlightened World Network, 1 p.m. Eastern. Today is the debut of the Sustainability Hour, and I would love, love, love to see you there. So blessings to all and so much love.